Hello there, and welcome to the last Plague Blight, and this is Farming 101. I'm going to show you all the tips and tricks that I learned on doing all this stuff and cover the basics so you can have a nice, even farm like this on the tilled soil, and make it look nice if you really want to, and all the other ingredients that you're going to need for this. And of course, the first thing you're going to want to learn how to do is till the soil, and you need a stick for that. You just have a stick in your main hand, and bam, all the dirt and mud will turn into a tilling option for yourself. What else you're going to need? You're going to need a shovel. Any shovel will do. You're probably going to want to have 4 long planks and 1 short plank if you want to build it nice and even. That we're going to show you how to do that. And the way the plants work, which you're going to be able to figure out easily for yourself, is you use 75 bone meal. We'll put the plant up to good fertilization. That's the minimum you need for that. And to actually get the fungicide, you're going to have that crushed regular. I don't know how to say that. But anyways, those are the red crystals you get from the iron mines. And then you got to craft that with water. And you actually need 100 of those, 100 milliliters to actually get the proper fungicide on there. But luckily, we don't really need the fungicide in this game yet, because since it's still so early. Of course, these things might change, but yeah, now this is a nice little patch of farmer here, and this was really easy to do and make it look nice and even that we have right here. I don't like extra barriers, but you can have barriers if you want. And as you can see, this all this land is all taken care of. I might put a little more farming over here. I'm going to do some other stuff on this side of the farm, so I can't add any new farms here. And all this stuff right here is basically going to be called for some other projects I might have later on. So the only place I can stick my mushroom farm that's going to be ideal is going to be over here. So let's get started on this. This is not a good spot, but that's not going to matter because we're going to do this nice and easy by going down to here and going to the foundation with the large planks and go to the soil plates, and we're going to place that as our basic foundation. So it's going to be level with here, for example, and I want it kind of level with that. I want to make maybe extend it later on so it can go over here a little bit more. So if I have that as my edge, this should be my top edge. I want a little bit of room over here, so I just eyeball it and then hit the Alt key to line it up with your terrain. So it's lined up right there. We place it, and then we're good to go. So let's cover the other tips that we're going to have right here. And that is, equip the shovel to flatten the ground. But we want to go faster because doing this the regular way, it doesn't really work really well, right? There's the fast forward key. At least it doesn't work for me for some reason. Go flatten the ground. I can hit the key for fast forward. It doesn't work. So there, go faster. It doesn't go faster. And it's going to matter for later on. Like that doesn't matter right now, but we can just go over here and build that. And then we go to the next ones and place those. We'll show you that. And this will work on like everything else. So what we're going to do is take the shovel off, find where you're going to build on there. It says, equip the shovel, then click it, and then there we go. And then we can, let's go back to tab. Now we hit the fast forward button, and now we can go fast. So that's what we can do for anything that has the actual option on there where it says, equip something to use it. So it says, equip the shovel. Click on it, tab it out there, and then put it on, and then it'll go automatically faster for yourself. So if you didn't know how to do that, that's like a game changer if you don't know for yourself. And it works on anything that you can think of that actually says to do something. Like, cutting down this tree, for example. It says, if it says equip an axe to chop it, click on the tree, tab over there, take this off, and put your axe onto your main hand. Using the number keys isn't going to work. You can do this for mining or building. Anything that says you actually need to do something, you can click on it and then do this to get that fast forward option. If it doesn't work, since it doesn't, the fast forward option there, it doesn't work for me. It works if I do it like that. So yeah, I can just go there, chop the tree down there. Okay, fast forward key is just, it doesn't do anything. This is slow as hell, right? So I don't want to do it that way. I can just click it off there, chop it, and then where's my axe? Where did my axe go? There it is. And I can go fast and chop it. That's what we're doing here with the building anyways. So let's go over there and finish this off as the example. Just wanted to throw that extra little tip in there for you. So click on that, get rid of that, and go faster and build that out there, flatten that out. And of course we need that one small plank. We could finish building that, I guess. Not need it if you want to. We'll go out there and we go down to floors, and we want a plank floor. You could use a rock, I guess. Yeah, the whole basics are the same. Go to the planks and click on there, click on that side, that corner, and there we go. And now we have it ready to go. So we'll take the shovel off, and then we'll find the floor. There we go. Clicked on it, and then tab it in there. And we can flatten it out nice and fast. It'll be nice and even and squared off and basically perfect, basically. And it's hell of a lot easier than we tear it apart. There we go. We got our nice big square plot of land for ourselves. And since this is going to be a mushroom farm, we can just go over the post now and put our medium posts in there. We know where to put them, right? So if I want to expand this way, I got to make sure I put it over here a little bit. and bam. And then I'm going to put this one over here, and that's good right there. That covers both of those sides, and that's greater than those sides, and it's still green in there. And we have a little bit of leeway, right? So we got some leeway here, and make sure that this stick is farther out than that plank and farther out than that plank, and we can go from all the sides there. So now we're ready to go and expand it as we see fit. Then of course, you can leave that stuff in there or take it apart if you want, and go from there. And build to your heart's content. Any terrain, doesn't matter what it is. When you do this and flatten the ground like this, it's all going to turn into soil that you can till, mud or dirt, basically, right? And then we can go there and you can expand it for bigger farms if you want to later on by doing the same thing. So we can just go, I want to make it bigger this way, and then there you go. I can just go there and do the same thing, and all the stuff will get flattened. Make it a floor and flatten it out nice and easily, and then it's just left to tilling the soil, which is a long process, which we're not going to show you to do. I'll show you one example of tilling, and there's no faster way to do that, right? Because there's no click option basically, unless your fast forward works, and then you can change that, right? It's just click for mud. It doesn't work for tilling, right? So you guys will till the soil, then you can do it, but. At least I don't know of any other trick to do that. But as you can see, it's barely even doing anything, right? So it takes a long time to actually till all the soil and get all that stuff lined up there for planting. But you'll get it done eventually. But there you go. So hopefully you learn some neat little tricks, and of course the easy way of making a nice flat patch of land for yourself for making your farms on and having everything lined up nicely, right? So this is lined up nicely with my little house right here. So yeah, that's just 2 planks wide, and I was able to stick all these little plants on here, and they're all ready to go and start growing effectively. And of course the constant rain and the mud, which washes away the mushrooms and stuff like that too. So that's not really good. At least the mushrooms don't need fertilizer for themselves, but they don't want to grow very much. Sometimes you can put one in there and grow one, and we got a deer doing the moonwalk. That's cool. Yeah, moonwalking deer. But anyways, I'm going to do a tips video showing you that stuff right there that I learned, and some of the other stuff, and then probably a special dedicated video on, doing the decontamination and, the whatever you call it, the preserving and decontamination, that kind of stuff. So yeah, other videos are on the way. I just want to get this one out of the way right now because that's what I'm doing, is making a mushroom farm for myself for the future. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.